So this is a revolving credit of United States. You see the credit card has been contracting. Okay, there are all the people saying the strong dollar, strong economy, but look at the credit card that actually going down. It's quite similar setup to 2020. That's when the COVID hit. Okay, you know what happened to gold and silver at that time? So this is a disclaimer. This is me. I already discussed it yesterday. So I have very good 2023 and also even better 2024, and in all the different sectors. So I come here quite often. That's over 2 years ago. I talk about silver and then solar panel, and now it's getting very popular. And I talk about the gold rush over 1 year ago, and then gold took off. So what's happened right now in China? Okay, so you see the Chinese ordinary investor, they like to follow Chinese central bank. There is a pretty clear pattern here. When Chinese central bank was buying, they buy. So the premium in China was high. And then Chinese central bank stopped buying, right? Around here, they stopped buying and become a discount. And then recently become premium again because China just started to buy in November, small amount, and they double the purchase in December. So you see the for the ordinary investors, the position started picking up. So I would also want to talk about silver. Since I talk about the silver for past 2 years, now it's generally people accept that solar panel really was the driver for solar demand, for the silver demand. So I want to give the latest update, okay? So because of the trade war, because of tariff, the solar panel price dropped significantly. So this year, last year, 2024, there was a squeeze of the cost. They're trying very hard to reduce the silver content in the solar panel, very hard. Okay, so currently, a lot of solar panel has half of the silver content at the end of 2024 versus the beginning of 2024. I still have some question. I don't know if that will, how long it lasts, durability, efficiency, if they're taking the hit. But the newest solar panel, they're using, in general, half of they used to use at the beginning of 2024. Okay, so it looks like to me, 2024 will be the year for the, at least temporary, the peak of the silver demand for the solar panel. I give you, this is from TD Security. I'm very glad I finally have a research report, English research report. Before, 2 years ago, when I first started with solar panel, all the research report was in Chinese. I got from my China friend, and the Silver Institute at that time, they were very slow in updating what the real demand is. So this one is from TD. They just came out, which is accurate. It's very consistent from what I'm hearing. The reduction of the most popular TOPCon technology is about half, okay? HJT, which is about 10-20% of the solar panel, is much more severe. And then there's possibility this technology has no silver content, may come out this year or next year. So why? Because this is TOPCon is based on pack, so it's high temperature process. This is a low temperature. So low temperature, there is a technology they can push down the silver content. So they try very hard. I still have some questions on how durable it is, efficiency it is, but it is what it is. So the silver content in solar panel has been went down dramatically in the past year. But looking in the future, this is a Mercedes just came out with a presentation, their future car, right? They want to have a solar panel, transparent solar panel on their roof, right? So that can drive quite some distance. If you look at their presentation, you can almost drive 10,000 kilo a year just on that power generated by the solar panel on the roof. Think about how far you drive, right? I'm driving maybe less than that each year. So potentially, you don't need a gasoline anymore. You don't need even to charge your car. So it's a It's for the future. And then those transparent new technology, what do they use? You can see that they use a lot more silver and also use a little bit gold. So for gold, but it's early technology. It's always like that. When the technology first come out, they use a lot more silver. And then once they evolve, they're trying to squeeze out the gold and then reduce the silver. But you can see it will be go through another cycle if that technology takes off. Okay, right now, it's solar panel is more than 50% is in China, okay? So that's why you can, from what China plan to build this year, that's why you can come to like the silver demand in the solar panel of this year will likely to go down from last year. But we are here. So we are here on the Saturday, and this is actually the most important chart I want to show you for could be the whole conference, okay? If you look at this carefully, there's a very, very interesting things right here. I don't know if you can see it. I heard Rick Rue said, we're going to make a lot of money in the next 5 years. But this one, potentially, if this goes as we expected, we can make a lot of money in the next 5 months, maybe 5 weeks. Why? You look at this. This is a total, this is from TD Security. It's a public report. You can go to TD Security, ask for this report. It's recently published. This is a total inventory, total silver inventory from London, Chicago, Shanghai, right? Total, you see the inventory. Very interestingly, after COVID, it started to drop. Which it should be because we are running deficit. We know that, right? Because right now, everybody already know that. I was talking about 2 years ago, we have a deficit. Now everybody know we are deficit. Deficit about 200 million. Remember, 200 million ounces a year. So this is about right. But why it flattened? Why it didn't drop further like this? Right, where the silver came from? That's the question. So this chart is about ETF. So there were some ETF withdrawals. So people were selling ETF, right? To buy the Seven Sisters, to buy whatever Bitcoin. So they were selling of ETF, but it's not that significant. It was a little bit selling, 2020, 2022. When silver was high, and then it's pretty flatline. So total selling of silver, maybe 100-something million ounces, right? But that cannot compensate the 200 million ounces per year of the withdrawal of the silver inventory. Okay, that's well-known knowledge, but why this one is not going down? That's the question. So this is a TD. They talk about different scenario. So remember, right now, let me go back a little bit. You see that right now the total free inventory about 300 million. That's another number you should remember. 300 million is the total inventory, and we have a deficit of about 200 million a year, right? So why is this one is not going down as we expected? And the TD scenario, of course, they think if we have investors start picking up, we just need to buy 300 million ounce of silver, which is about $2 billion. It's nothing compared to trillions of dollars in Bitcoin. Then we will have a run on silver. But you think about it could happen much, much sooner. That's why, we are here, right? You're smart people here on Saturday, beautiful Vancouver. You think about that. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but there is a lot of conspiracy theory right now. They think, silver was oversold, they were double counted, and so on and so forth. So this is a moment of truth because on Monday, the next president of the United States, Donald Trump, right, he's going to be inaugurated. He already set up a division in the United States called External Revenue Service, IRS, Internal Revenue Service, and there's a new division called External Revenue Service, so he's going to collect tariff around the world. The generally accept tariff is 10%. Think about 10%, everything coming into the United States. So what's going to happen if there's a 10% tariff is set? right? There's a talk gold probably will be exempt. Okay, it's because gold is money and people think gold, and so, but silver probably will not be exempt. So there will be massive, massive migration of silver from London to Chicago. That there will be planes flying every day to front run the tariff. Whenever tariff, you should listen to the inauguration, you check the news. If you're really going to, if serious about 10% general tariff, people will ship all the silver to Chicago before the tariff in effect. So ineffective, there will be for silver bull, for people who love silver, there will be a beautiful experiment to check whether this conspiracy theory is true or not true. Think about that. The total inventory is 300 million, and we are running about 200 million a year deficit. And then the silver inventory has been flatlined in the past few years, which is very strange. So we will find out whether this is true or not. So that's why I'm saying we may not need to wait for 5 years. We may need to wait for 5 months, maybe 5 weeks, maybe even 5 days, because this is a this thing goes very, very fast. We will find out whether the emperor really has clothes on or not. And also we see that Shanghai people start to, in China, pick up position. That's also in the same TD report. I encourage everybody to read that report. It's pretty well written. So they already see the big silver drain right now from London to the US ahead of the tariff, right? People worry about because all the future, silver future is like 30-40% level. I'm playing a little bit future market, so I know that 30-40 times leverage. So a 10% tariff means 3 to 4 times of profit. It's a huge profit. So people already start front running, and if there's announced 10%, that will be effect, say by the end of this month or next month, then people will just ship everything, right? The precious metal, whatever precious will be shipped because it's easier to fly over the plane. Silver, platinum, whatever is on that will be coming to the US to front run the tariff. Unless he said will be tariff immediately. I don't think the government is so efficient enough to set up tariff at that moment. So this is a moment of truth for silver. So this is silver 3-year chart, and for sake of time, I'm just go through that. Gold, right? Gold, contango. That actually I have this chart in the last myth. So the gold is very undervalued, and then gold started breaking out. And I like this the most. It just got published last month, and by our friend Incrementon, and you can see the gold going up, and then this compare to previous spike, it can go much higher. Our good friend Brian Landing was saying this could go to 700. We'll see. I mean, I'm happy with 5, right? Okay. So, and also very, very important is the gold versus the price outside the United States. It's much more expensive in Canada. That's very good for Canadian miners. So that's the take. And miners outside the United States enjoy record high gold price and depend on the tariff on gold or not. Okay, so but if there aren't and not, either way can change a lot. And then we have 2 very bad company. One is called Newmont, one is called Barrick. They just blew out last year, and so the GDX, JO, this gold mining index is way down. But there are good miners. There are a lot of good miners, and there's different strategies. You buy miners to finish up building a new mine, because new mine generally there's a very low cost and cash flow, generate a lot of free cash flow, and buy miners with a strong balance sheet. For juniors, it's a stock pickers market. Okay, this is United States debt. A lot of people already talk about that. So this is the platinum. I just put it a little bit. I've been talking about for 2 years. It just complete, you can just play the cycle. You buy a 900, sell it over 1,000. I've been doing that for the past 2 years. It's truly money printing. I call it money printing in my newsletter. It just continued this pattern for the 2 years. I think for those people who've been here for the past 2 years, you can continue enjoying, take the swing. right? I using the future market, it's 10 times leverage, so not everybody should use the future, but for the 10-time leverage, one swing is 100% return. So this is also the platinum, you see the long-short ratio. Recently, at the end of the last year, was an all-time low, which I was able to pick it up more. And then this is data that's from China. So it shows China don't produce platinum, so China import platinum. You can see there is the public data. You can see China import a lot more platinum on the months when they drop below 1,000. So there's a support, there's a physical support down there. And going forward, I'm not sure 1,000 will be the floor because Chinese currency has been weakened. Maybe they do 975, maybe do 950. I have to check. So, but that's a pattern, that's a theory behind it, why you can continue. Me and my subscriber continue to print money with platinum in the past 2 years. So the AI is something crazy going to happen, and I think very soon AI will be smarter than us. So unfortunate, and the United States and China in the furious fight, and so that's what United States right now. If you want to build an AI data center, it takes 2-3 years. Okay, China much sooner. So if I were president, I would ban the Bitcoin mining because they use all the NVIDIA chips. The chip that China couldn't get. They use a lot of power, waste the power to do something, just mine Bitcoin. I'd rather have that to do the AI, right? To do the real AI, do something real to benefit our society. Their natural gas, nuclear, solar panel, it's the most easy to get approval. So what I see from AI boom, from robotic, from maybe the war, so all these require a lot of material. So that's my take. We are in dawn of the new boom of the commodity because before the human intellectual is more important, right? Right now AI is taking over. So actually, material is more important. You can have millions and millions of drones, millions and millions of robots to fight each other. That I see the future warfare will be, and that needs all the material. That actually material is the most critical for our future. So I see we potentially get to the bottom of this cycle, and then we have a great future ahead of us. Okay, this is another chart. And then it's chenpick.com, my website.